The power of the new Model 3 Performance has just been revealed, and it's utterly mental. I mean, guys, Model 3 Performance power was already really good and was already a really stupidly fast car, in my opinion. I had a drive in one, and I actually felt sick from the acceleration. But the new version has a whole lot more power. The rear motor in the new version could even possibly just literally shred the tires. I mean, looking at these performance numbers, the rear motor in the new Model 3 Performance, it's utterly insane. But you guys have probably seen the performance numbers. You see in the quarter mile times, right, with the Model 3 Performance, once it hits about 100 miles an hour, or even a bit less than that, the power really starts to fade, right? It starts to lose a lot of power. Other cars start to catch up to it. That is changed. It's entirely different. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Model 3 Performance power figures are said to have increased by exactly 113 horsepower. 113 horsepower, but the weight is identical or within 1% of the previous version. We have some, I don't know if these numbers are correct, but someone has shared these numbers and they've got a various range of numbers: battery, chemistry, they've got the actual performance of the front motor, the rear motor. Based on this information, we know that the new Model 3 Performance will be a hell of a lot faster than equivalent cars like the BMW M2. I'm saying equivalent because the Tesla Model 3 has raced against the M2 around a few different racetracks worldwide. It's actually won that race, but now there is a new version of the M2. There's new versions of different performance cars, different electric performance cars. Tesla's basically gone, you know what, we need to make a change. There is an entirely new motor. The rear motor is completely changed, and it has an incredible amount of power, 303 kilowatt. Now, just the rear motor has 406 horsepower on the Tesla Model 3 Performance. The front motor obviously has a hell of a lot of power as well. The front motor has 158 kilowatt, which is 211 horsepower, the same as the previous motor. Apparently Tesla haven't changed the front motor. They've just changed the rear motor, which is just ridiculously powerful. I mean, a single motor, 303 kilowatt, 406 horsepower, which is just insane. So total power from this vehicle is an utterly ridiculous 461 kilowatt. I mean, in a car this size, this vehicle will be able to do clearly, very, very clearly. We know the performance is very obviously going to be below 3 seconds, 0 to 62 miles an hour, 0 to 100. I reckon my guess would be an estimated 2.6 seconds, 0 to 62 miles an hour. Quarter mile time, you're going to be looking at maybe 10 5s, 10 6s. That is ridiculously fast for a vehicle that's going to cost, well, be relatively affordable. The prices are meant to come in similar price to the old Model 3 Performance. So it's within the range of, you know, a lot of people being able to afford a car. Honestly, I never thought cars would be this fast that were relatively affordable. I didn't think this would ever happen. I mean, 10 years ago, if you'd said, you know what, you're going to have to buy a run-of-the-mill car that's not a supercar, that can do this kind of performance, and that has, you know, the new Model 3 Highlander is a fairly luxurious car. I just don't think that combination would have been something that people would have thought would have happened. So just to recap here, guys, nominal voltage from the LG battery pack is meant to be 355 volts. It's an LG battery. The front motor is 158 kilowatt. The rear motor is 303 kilowatt. That means it has a total power of 618 horsepower, 113 horsepower more than the previous Tesla Model 3. But here's the big difference, right? The leaked document says that the rear motor will reach peak power at a much higher speed, a speed of 68 miles an hour, so about 112 kilometers an hour, versus 47 miles an hour previously. So it's hitting peak power at 21 miles per hour further down. That means the top speed should be faster and it should have much more top end power. A lot like the Tesla Model S Plaid. You know, you see the Model S Plaid racing, you think, oh, it's gonna hit that electric car top end power. It doesn't. It keeps going. So it's going to be a much faster car in numerous ways, not just faster from 0 to 62, but faster quarter miles. It's going to be really cool to see, you know, YouTube channels like Carwell drag race the new Model 3 Performance, as I'm sure they will be. And apparently this vehicle is meant to be coming out within the next 8 weeks. So that's pretty cool. In addition to that, the weight. Okay, what's the weight? It isn't light. It's 4,089 pounds, meaning it'll be about 1,000, just over 1,900 kilograms, about 1,900 kilos. I think that's actually not too bad when you consider the insane performance this vehicle has. Now, let's compare this, right? Mercedes-Benz C63 with a 6-cylinder, or even with the previous model's V8 engine, supercharged V8 engine. Yeah, that was actually a little bit heavier than the Tesla Model 3 Performance. So it's actually not that heavy. Range is estimated to be approximately 270 miles from the 82 kilowatt hour battery pack. So 270 miles, it could be more than that, but that's the estimate at this point in time. I'm going to guess it might be closer to 280 miles. I think Tesla might have gotten a bit more range out of this new model. But of course, if you drive it like it's meant to be driven, you're not going to get 280 miles or 300 miles of range. You're going to get a bit less than that. There's a few other things we know. Tesla's chief designer, Franz von Holzhausen, and Vice President of Vehicle Engineering, Lars Moravi, will stream a live chat on the new Model 3 tomorrow, or that might be today by the time you're seeing this video. So we're going to get some more information about this new Model 3 Performance. If you want to get one of these, I think you have to place an order pretty much immediately because it's going to be a long wait. I'm going to estimate wait times will be blowing out to 6 to 8 months within the first week. A lot of people are going to say, you know what, the Model 3 Highland, it's a lot better than the old version. Now you're going to look at the ultimate performance version of the Model 3 Highland. This car is going to have huge demand. Now, when I say huge demand, I don't mean it's going to sell millions or anything like that. But for the kind of car it is, a performance car, it could be the best-selling performance car worldwide this year. In fact, very likely. Thanks for watching.